Hey guys, girls, I'm going to tell you a quick story from the Street Stories series from the Yankee Stadium stories called Nicky, the Hot Dog Girl. I'm going to give you the short version so that maybe you'll check out some of the books. Nicky works at Yankee Stadium. She sells hot dogs. She's the girl who walks around and says, hey, hot dog. You know, they got people there to go, hey, beer, hey, soda, hey, pretzel. She's the hot dog girl. Anyway, also Nicky's married. She's got a husband named Richard. And Richard works in computers. He makes a lot of money. So Nicky really doesn't have to work. He tells everybody she's the Energizer Bunny. She gets up 5 o'clock in the morning. She don't go to bed until after midnight every single night. She just can't sit still. So anyway, Nicky's not feeling that cool right now because she recently had a miscarriage and she feels like Richard started acting differently towards her. And, you know, she's like, she knew he wanted a baby, but it wasn't her fault that she lost the baby. Right around that time, her best friend Barbara calls and says, hey, listen, can I come stay with you and Richard for a while? I'm getting divorced. Nicky says, sure, girl, you know, you're my girlfriend. I trust you with everything, including my husband. Barbara comes over, everything lightens up. They start cooking together. They're playing cards together at night. Everybody's happy. They're cooking together, smiling, laughing. Everything's great. So Nicky relaxes a little. Barbara is also the one who got Nicky the job at Yankee Stadium. She did public relations for them, so she called up Human Resource, said, listen, I got the perfect girl for you. She's going to sell 1 million hot dogs. Give her the job. So they did. Barbara also goes to the games all the time, and Nicky brings her favorite meal 2 or 3 times a game, a hot dog and a beer. So every game, Barbara goes home full and smashed. Anyway, this particular day, Nicky gets to work and she's not feeling that good and she asks the supervisor, can I cut out? The supervisor says, yeah, you can go. Cuts out, gets to the doctor's office. Sure as heck, she's pregnant again. She says, oh my God, Dick is going to be like so crazy. Dick is short for Richard, that's what she calls him. She says, oh my God, Dick is going to be so happy. She shoots home, gets to her car, gets out of her car, parks in the driveway. She tells herself, you know what, I'm going to leave the car in the driveway, I'm going to go inside, I'm going to cook a great meal. And then I'm going to shoot back out to the liquor store, get a bottle of champagne, and after we eat tonight, I'm going to pop the cork. Guess what, baby? I'm pregnant again. So she gets inside the door, and just as she closes the door, she hears the air conditioner running upstairs on the 2nd floor. She says, now wait a minute, did I leave that on or did Dick leave it on? She slowly creeps up the stairs, gets to a little crack in the door, and there's her best friend Barbara and her husband Dick making love in her bed. She puts her hand over her mouth. She runs back down the stairs, shoots back to her car, gets back to work, tells the supervisor everything's fine. She had an upset stomach. They gave her Pepto-Bismol. She's good. She's going to finish out her day. Hey, hot dog's over here. That night, she gets back home, and when she walks in, there's Barbara and Dick sitting on the couch. Hey, girl, how you doing? Hi, honey, how are you doing? You sell a lot of hot dogs? Mwah, love you. She says, sure, I sold a lot of hot dogs, honey. That night, when Dick falls asleep, Nicky takes a pillow and puts it over his head and takes an ice pick and drives it through his ear into his brain and holds him until he stops moving and shaking and breathing. Next morning, she gets up just as she's closing the door to the room. Here comes Barbara passing by. And Barbara's like, what's up? Is something wrong? Is something wrong with Dick? She closes the door. No. Shh, he's sleeping. He's not feeling good today. He's not going in. But he'll be all right. So Barbara says, oh, okay, I hope he's going to be better. But listen, girl, I'm going to be at the game today, so don't forget to come and bring me my favorite meal, girl. Nicky says, girl, you know you my girl. I'll be there, girl. Sure as heck, the day goes on. Nicky comes, sees Barbara 2-3 times during the game. Brings her favorite meal. That night, when Barbara's coming home, she sees helicopters, ambulances, fire trucks, SWAT, police cars, and just as she gets to the house, she sees Nicky being led away in handcuffs. Now, at the trial, they had no problem convicting Nicky of murder because she did it. But they deliberated for a while whether it was first-degree murder, a crime of passion, premeditated murder. Anyway, they convict her. She gets in front of the judge. The judge looks at Nicky and says, Nicky, do you have anything to say for yourself? Nicky turns calmly. She looks at the jury. She looks at Barbara, who's sitting in the courtroom now, and she looks at the rest of the people, and she says, I'm sure the biggest question all of you have is what happened to my husband's private parts? She said, after I killed him, I cut it off. She said, then I went downstairs and I boiled some water and I put it in there to make it nice and soft. She said, then I put it in a baggie and I put the baggie in the cabinet. The next morning I got up, took the baggie, went to work, went behind the counter, reheated it, and I put it on a hot dog bun and covered it in mustard and ketchup just the way my good friend Barbara likes it. She said, then I went down to where Barbara was sitting, and Barbara was screaming, the Yankees got a hit. Go, Yanks, first base, second base, third base, run! And I reached in and I handed it to her, and I watched as she gobbled it down and washed it down with a beer. Suddenly, you could see Barbara running from the courtroom, vomiting violently. And as she was being led away, Nicky turned and she said, I hope you enjoyed Tick's Tick. That's the end of our story. Guys, you got to buy a book. There's 22 books online. You can go on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. It's Street Stories NYC by Michael Knight, the New York Cowboy, with an N. Check them out. They're only $2.99 each. Ciao.